The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have just released Antonio Brown a minute ago. So he's gone. He was on Instagram and yesterday trying to embarrass Bruce Arians. And listen, I don't know Antonio Brown personally, and I don't know the real truth in this story. I know that Antonio Brown almost once killed a child throwing furniture out of a building, rape accusations, robbed a delivery driver, stiffed multiple people, fourth team 4 years. He's a bad guy. I also know Bruce Arians is beloved by coaches, has the most diverse staff in the league, beloved by players. There's a reason Brady chose that place. That's what I know. What happens on Instagram and texting. A lot of stuff happens. People say a lot of things on texting. This is interesting, though. It's a little bit of a cautionary tale on something. Stars in American sports are richer and more powerful than ever. LeBron has a net worth of $800 million while he's playing. Much richer while he's playing. Not even close to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's had a lot of his wealth after playing. LeBron has as much money as Michael does playing with years left. He'll get MVP votes. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes, $400 million contracts. They're players. They're not personnel people. This is a cautionary tale. Tom wanted AB, and that's why he's there. Bruce didn't. GM didn't. A lot of the players didn't. But Tom wanted him, and Tom has immense pull, especially, if you look at Tampa's history, it was not a winning culture. Randall Cobb is not a bad guy. He's a great guy, but Aaron Rodgers wanted him, remember? And he has 28 catches and is hurt again. And LeBron wanted Westbrook. The Lakers did not. They did not want Westbrook. And Westbrook now is driving LeBron crazy. It's a cautionary tale. Star athletes have power. Use it for your Instagram. Stay out of the personnel department. Brady wanted a player that's bad for the locker room. Shocking. He was bad for the last 3 locker rooms. Kevin Durant's a brilliant basketball player. He chose Kyrie over Steph Curry. That's what star athletes do. They get players that make them comfortable. They're comfort food. LeBron James wanted Tristan Thompson paid because Tristan would do all the crappy, dirty work on the glass that LeBron didn't want to. Made $82 million. He can't shoot. It's a shooter's league. But he was comfort food. Tristan Thompson was comfort food for LeBron. Westbrook would be big minutes, comfort food for LeBron. I can't play 38 minutes. Antonio Brown made Tom comfortable in that dependable veteran guy. Randall Cobb made him comfortable, and he's hurt and kind of expensive and really doesn't produce much. Now, of all those, only one of those people is really, really toxic as a human. The rest of them are good guys, just don't have a ton of value or were overpaid. But this is something we're seeing in sports a lot, is that the star player has so much power that they're now making personnel decisions, and they overwhelmingly do a really, really bad job of it. AB may have been good for Tom. There was never any inclination he would be anything other than eventually toxic for this locker room. And today, moments ago, AB was released by the Buccaneers. So I thought this was interesting. Mary Kay Cabot is a very good reporter in Cleveland. Cleveland's got some crazy people on the air and writing, and they all hate me. Mary Kay, I've interviewed her multiple times. Super smart. She's been doing it forever. She said the Baker Mayfield Kevin Stefanski relationship is no good. Sort of like the Hugh Jackson-Baker relationship was no good. Sort of like the Freddie Kitchens relationship with Baker was no good. You're seeing a trend here. Baker's abrasive and not terribly flexible. Kevin Stefanski does not need to get along with Baker. He's got 3 years left on his contract. Baker, and this is not really his personality, has to get along with Stefanski. It's very interesting. Confidence is really important, but it can move into delusion very quickly. And I think if you look at all the injuries and all the stats and all the issues, Baker has a bit of a delusion issue. Even his injury, his primary injury, he thought he was more athletic than he was, and he tried to square up a safety after a pick. His judgment, he thinks he has a stronger arm than he does. He's apparently mad at Stefanski because he won't roll him out more. Really? Dude, you're a marginal at best athlete and small. So I think what sometimes is your gift is your curse. I think the confidence was so great for him in high school and college, but it's moved into an area where, of course, the Browns run it more. They have Nick Chubb as a top 2 or 3 running back in the league. There's an argument to be made he's the best running back in the league. He's a phenomenal running back. Big, strong, fast, and they have the best guard, center, guard troika or trio in the league. And when their tackles are healthy, they weren't at the end of the year, they're the best offensive line in the league, or certainly in a small class. So it's a power run game. He couldn't make OBJ work. Oh, gosh, seamlessly he works in L.A. Worked in New York, worked in L.A. Jarvis Landry had his worst year. They actually have really good tight ends. Those don't work either. And he doesn't get along with another coach. So at some point, the confidence has become sort of abrasive and toxic. I'm always suspicious. I mean, there are people that don't like me in this industry, but if you go back to both places I've worked at, I try to get along with people. So does Joy. So does everybody I know. If somebody is constantly got enemies and is abrasive and difficult, it's them, not the other people. So I think that's kind of where we are. Nick Wright talked about this yesterday, about Baker and his future.
Baker bet on himself and it blew up in his face. If Baker would have taken the last contract offer the Browns made this offseason, I think he would have had the surgery he clearly and desperately needed. Then maybe he's back by week 9 healthy. Maybe the Browns didn't have another win or two and they're alive for the postseason this week. But he bet on himself and now it absolutely is in play. Forget what's the next contract going to look like. It's in play that the next contract he's fighting for a job.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. So, again, confidence is a great thing. But when you have to kind of remind us how tough you are all the time, it's probably a good example you're not that tough, right? Like when people have to remind you they're rich or remind you they're this or they remind you, I'm always a little bit, I mean, it's okay. I know Tom Brady makes money. I can see the mansion as he does a Zoom call. I know Tom Brady. I've seen him on his private jet before. Like, we know he's rich, but if you're reminding me every 15 minutes, it's different. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.